Hey guys, Ralph here. We're gonna have a little talk here. So this is something that's actually been on my mind ever since like middle school, and I've never known how to like formulate this enough or well enough or articulate myself well enough to post a video on it. But at this point, who cares? If I don't make it now, I'll probably never make this video. Before I get into anything whatsoever, though, I just have a question. Who here's heard of the Stanford prison experiment? Basically, if you don't know what the Stanford prison experiment is, to give a little rundown of it, it's basically random people were selected from a college, I believe, and some of them were assigned to be guards and some of them were assigned to be prisoners. And they were given, prison numbers, what they were in there for, so on and so forth. However, the people that were the guards could get as brutal as they wanted, and the people overseeing this experiment never, stopped them. So they got as extreme as they wanted to with no repercussions. And if I am remembering correctly, some people got trauma from this experiment because it got so intense. That being said, what do you think happens when you put a bunch of grown adults with a bunch of power over a bunch of children? The same exact thing, in my opinion. Now, this isn't said for every teacher. I will say that I had some great teachers who were great people, genuinely. But I've also had some pretty terrible ones that should have gone to jail, but for some reason, our school system in America decided, nah, they're going to be able to continue to teach. Now, I will say this issue is not as prevalent in high schools as it is younger grades, and that I feel like is for a few different reasons. Number one being when you're a young kid, if something weird happens, it's not going to be as strange to you, if that makes sense. Because if you're not used to school, you don't know the disciplinary system of how everything should work. And if that's normal or not, because you've never done this before, it's a completely new experience that I don't think anybody can really tell you exactly how it's supposed to go, and it just go just like they say, It's difficult to explain. It's the same thing as getting a job. You don't know what to expect when you go in to do it. It's the same kind of a whole new experience, the next chapter of your life type of thing. I've asked a few people about this, and to be completely transparent, a few people means my friends that have also had some pretty terrible experiences dealing with school. And the number one thing that is always weird, and everyone has had this experience, is some teacher at some point in your life, if you go to American schools, I don't know if this is different across seas or anything like that, but there's always been that one teacher that has some weird ass rule that is completely out there. And the most common one of these weird rules I hear all the time, because me and my friends have literally talked about this before, had an entire discussion. You can't eat in my classroom. As the teacher's sitting there scarfing down some food. Listen, lady, listen. You get an hour and 30-minute lunch for planning and lunch. If you're gonna eat, I can eat too. That is just being a normal person. Don't be like, no, you can't eat until I'm done! It's literally that extreme. It's like, come on. I genuinely remember almost getting sent to the principal's office because I wouldn't spit out a mint. This teacher was eating chips and salsa. I am not shitting you. Eating chips and salsa. And I put a spearmint mint in my mouth. And it was bad enough for her to stop her entire lesson and argue. Not just me be like, but you're eating. That's not valid, apparently. Spit it out, Ryan. You have to go to the classroom in front of everybody. I'm going to stop this entire math lesson right now and make you walk up and spit out your mint because I'm an asshole. Like, what? The time this most abuse of power starts is anywhere from from my group of friends was first grade to fourth grade, and I had an experience in the sixth grade as well, but that's because, listen, I was the most depressed person in the world in the sixth grade. We don't even want to go there. So then again, my mind was easily controlled because I was at such a low point. Yeah. But at the same time, even in the sixth grade, this is why I've had this thought process for so long. Even in the sixth grade, Like it was a problem of who do you tell? Like who can you go to in this situation where this is getting so bad that it's bordering, I would say it's bordering child abuse. Like who do you go to? If you go to your parents, you're like, "Hey, my teacher's mean." They're going to be like, "Get over it. It's school. Deal with it. You're only there for X amount of hours." Or at least that's how I would assume most parents would handle the situation, because that's how mine did. And not knowing from the outside looking in, I would probably say the exact same thing. But who do you go to? Uh, but from experience, I would go to, if you're honestly struggling with this type of thing. Uh, I would say go to your favorite teacher, because, hey, if you're in middle school or something, you're going to have a favorite teacher, because you're going to start to get to know these teachers on a personal level, and they're not just going to be some authority figure in your life. You're going to learn about them and their own lives, and you might like some of them. So go to them, try to explain what's going on. If you don't get to where you want to be with that situation, uh, I would say go to what is it called? The guidance counselors. Because I mean, the course of action that I wish was taken was not taken, because this lady can still teach, um, but she is no longer at that school, at least. Sorry, I'm not gonna exactly go into detail of what happened with that, because I'm not personally, okay with putting that online. This got really heavy really fast. Jesus, this is supposed to be like a calm little video. God. One of my last little points I want to drop in here before I head out is why I don't believe this is as big of a problem in high school as it is in elementary and middle school. And that's because you're actually an adult in high school. If someone tries to throw some BS rule on you, you're going to be like, "Hey, yo, I will slap you. Don't hit your teachers, kids. That was a joke." Anyways, but no, no one's going to force you to do something stupid because you're literally an adult, and you'll be like, "Hey, yo, I would call the police on you. This is child abuse." You know? So, yeah, that's about all I had. Finally, I guess my last little what the hell they call that in English class at the very end, where you ask a question to keep the viewer entertained, or to keep them thinking about the video. How do we prevent it? How do we prevent god awful teachers in the school systems? Because, like I said at the beginning of the video, I had some amazing teachers through first to fourth grade. I think fourth grade probably was one of the most caring teachers I've had, besides the teacher in sixth grade who helped me. But yeah, it's just gonna be a long road of trial and error, I believe, before we can find a system that really works for people that are just not like out of their own head trying to be over someone in the position of power. So yeah, I hope you got the video. If you got any weird stories about some crazy teachers, we always love to hear that, because we've been to the moon and back with that. Just, God, please don't make anyone sad and depressed in the comments. For the love of God. Anyways, I hope you guys the video. If you did, leave a like, and I'll see you in this video. Peace out. Bye! Yo, my anxiety is shot. I haven't made a video in so long. Jesus Christ.